everybody, welcome to Caleb's Imaginarium, where your imagination comes to life. And welcome back to another episode of Storytime with Caleb. Today's book we will be reading is called Turkey Goes to School, written by Wendy Silvano, illustrated by Lee Harper. Let's get started by reading this book. The first day of school was fast approaching. Max and Millie were super excited. And so were the animals on Farmer Jake's farm, especially since the first week's theme was Farm Days. They were certain they would be invited. Stories, counting, singing, painting, said Turkey. It all sounds so fun. I can't wait to go. Each day, Turkey got his pals to practice their school skills so they'd be ready. They wrote their names, counted corn kernels, read stories, and even tried out recess games. But when the big day came, they were booted off the bus. "Critters aren't allowed at school," said Millie. "You need to stay at the farm." "Gobble, gobble," groaned Turkey. "We just have to go to school. We can't miss out on all that fun." "Well then," said Horse, "let's giddy-yap and go." When the animals arrived, teachers were talking, children were chasing, parents were taking pictures. "It's too bad critters aren't allowed in class," said Sheep. "It is total hogwash," grunted Pig. "Turkey, why don't we team up to sneak you in, and then maybe you can get us in?" "Gobblety, good idea," said Turkey. "I think I know just what to do. No one will notice an extra backpack in the bunch." His costume wasn't bad. In fact, Turkey looked just like a backpack. Almost. "Totally foolish, Turkey," said Max. "Critters aren't allowed at school. Pack it up and head back to the farm." "Gobble, gobble," moaned Turkey. "I've got to find a way in." Rooster packed in the window. They're starting story time. "A book disguise might just doodle-doodle-do," he said. Turkey agreed. His costume wasn't bad. In fact, Turkey looked just like a book. Almost. "We'll create a little distraction out here while you book it inside," said Sheep. Turkey stayed quiet and still during the story. "Can we read that one next?" asked a girl, pointing right at Turkey. The teacher looked. "That's no book, Turkey. That's no book, Turkey. I'm paging the principal. Critters aren't allowed at school. You're bound for the farm." Turkey bolted outside. "Gobble, gobble," he howled. "I need a better disguise." "It's almost recess," said Horse. "Maybe it's a good chance to blend in with the group." "Score," said Turkey. "A ball is sure to get in the game." His costume wasn't bad. In fact, Turkey looked just like a soccer ball. Almost. The kids came running out to the playground. Horse bucked Turkey up in the air, and Cow headbutted him into the middle of the crowd. "Goal! Cool jumbo soccer!" cried a boy. Turkey was dizzy and dinged. He teetered and tottered right into Millie. "I call a foul!" cried Millie. "Turkeys aren't allowed at school. Roll on home." "Gobble, gobble, gobble," grumbled Turkey. "How am I ever gonna get inside?" Maybe you can make your move as a lunch lady in the cafeteria," said Cow. "Brilliant," said Turkey. His costume wasn't bad. In fact, Turkey looked just like a lunch lady. Almost. Pig pilfered a cart filled with food. Turkey pushed it right into the serving line and began to parcel out pizza. Cheese, turkey, hollered the head lunch lady. No one is swallowing that disguise. Critters aren't allowed at school. Out, out, out. Turkey trudged outside. I just don't get it, squawked Rooster. It's farm days. We should be front and center. That's it, cried Turkey. I have the perfect plan. The principal poked her head in the classroom. You have special guest visitors for farm days, she said. Farmer Jake and his animals are going to sing a song with you. Turkey and his pals walked to the front of the classroom. Turkey sang out, Farmer Jake, he had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. And on that farm he had a turkey, E-I-E-I-O. With a gobble gobble here and a gobble gobble here a gobble, there a gobble, everywhere a gobble gobble. The children cheered. Can he sing some more? Millie asked. She looked at the teacher hopefully. So did Turkey and his pals. Critters still aren't allowed at school, but I suppose they can be our special farm guests this afternoon. So did Turkey and his pals stayed. And it was farm-tastic, first and last day of school. And that's the end of the book. So I hope you enjoyed this book called Turkey Goes to School, written by Wendy Silvano, illustrated by Lee Harper. Make sure to subscribe, like, and comment on my Instagram page. Bye!